Having recovered from his injuries sustained while out at sea, upon one of the dreaded wooden sail steeds, the shaman, Ukiyashaiku, the serpent, recounts the tales of his adventures to the gathering of hatchlings and warrior supplicants alike, gesturing theatrically with his hands.
The travels of our prophet have led us through lands unknown, and across the great salted lake, a place we had hoped not to visit so soon upon our arrival into these strange lands. Many foes we have faced upon the currents of time, and among the prophet's retinue, my band of war shamans is all that remains. But I fear not for the safety of the kindred, for the tablets of Zas shall surely deliver us from this crucible. I have overheard the scouts who speak of the thralls of the Swamp King scampering about in the deserts to our south, and of the sycophantic furred ones, the felines, enthralled to some great wizard worm to the southwest. Danger abound, danger on all sides. Perhaps our steeds of wood riding over the great salted lake are not so accursed an accommodation, if the reports speak true.
Ukiyashaiku shakes his head as the others listen.
But me, oh no, I will not be stepping claw upon the creaking boards of dead wood again. I have had enough of the great salted lake. Nay, the prophet has sent me, thanks to my sacrifice, to oversee Xiaraisk, the megalith that guides the currents of destiny in the south. Me, you ask, a war shaman. Why would the prophet favor a war shaman? Were you not listening to the part where I recounted the warnings of our scouts? Enemies to the south, east, and west. Dragons. The prophet led us here, to this land, not because it would be safe. No such place exists. But because it is here that the Dragon Lords and their so-called Draconian Order is weakest. That is why I am chosen, because I have fought alongside the prophet since the day we first liberated ourselves, and because war is inevitable, and when war comes, I will be ready. For now, all of you, continue your training. Continue down the path of the javelin, spear, and axe, for all of your weapons will soon be tested upon the slaves of Dragonkind. Let them not be found wanting.
Greetings, fellow children of Zas, fellow supplicants. The shaman, the serpent, was correct. War is coming, it is only a matter of time until it finds us, and we will need to be ready for it. I am the Ash Heriter, and welcome back to Age of Wonders 4. If you enjoyed my previous episode and the introduction, please drop this video a like. It helps the YouTube algorithm out tremendously, and thank you to everybody that left encouraging comments on the previous episode. Also, special shout out to Arnik, this dialogue, and our new hero here, Ukiyashaiku the Serpent, the War Shaman. This is of your doing. You made this guy, and so I have put him into the series. Once again, if you guys want to leave very thematic comments from characters that you've come up with for this series, I will do what I can to get them into the series in one way, shape, or form. I won't necessarily always copy everything word for word. I will need to edit things to ensure that the cryptic speech of the the Xazk makes its way through the dialogue, but that is perfectly fine. I am an author. I am capable of such things. So thank you everybody that has left such comments. It's awesome, and once again, special thanks to Arnik for your really cool thematic comment. All right, now we have several things going on here. Here in Xiaraisk, which was founded, of course, by Xairiazk, the Ruthless, she's going to retreat because we are, of course, going to send the Serpent Shaman down south to oversee the city himself. Now, his war shamans, he was once a part of the unit of war shamans that now travels with the Prophet, who are up here. And once again, also thanks to Arnik, who has pointed out that these war shamans are the only ones left of our original retinue. This is literally all that remains of our troops. So, everything else has been recruited since then. We've suffered some losses, to be sure, but we'll recover. Now, on to building up our civilization and allowing the megaliths to become flourishing cities. So, first off, Inzasara says, our stonemasons are complete, and we are about to complete the production of a spear-bearer unit. So, what we will do is we will actually construct a market here. That sounds like a very good idea. Of course, Kthiar has been founded. We should construct something here, but I do not currently have the money to do so. Perhaps... and of course, let's set Ukiyasha Iku the Serpent as the governor here. Wonderful. In the meantime, the Ruthless Huntress will go out and just, keep an eye on things for now. We don't need to worry too much. Actually, yeah, maybe she should come back and deal with these threats here. I think we can actually probably take them, even though she's only level 1. As soon as we get another troop there, we should be able to deal with it just fine. But we'll just have to see how that goes. So right now, we're just going to send our scouts out and about to have a look-see and see what's out there. Ooh, we've got some loot here. Let's try and grab that next turn. And of course, we have some scouts here in the water, and our prophet here needs to go and deal with this force. I think we can take that. To complete the Planar Problems quest, which we are going to want to do. Once again, as forewarning, I am sort of going on vacation. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm just staying here. I just have one of my dear friends over. She'll be here for a week, so I will not be doing any recording during that time, so there might be a bit of a gap between episodes. I could have planned it better, but I've been tired from work the last 2 weeks, so I have, not been managing my time as well as I could have, and my apologies for that. So, I hope you guys can manage the wait in between episodes, if there is indeed a long wait in between episodes. Well, let's deal with these enemies. We can solve this planar problem. Pranar problem? Yeah, that's it. Pranar problem. So, we've got a couple of enemies here. There is an Astral Serpent. Let's check if this is an Astral... No, it's a Flow Serpent. Okay, so Flow Serpents have a teleporting AoE ability. They don't have the Refuge ability, though, like that the Astral Serpents do. And the rest of this, these are just basic melee units, more or less. Which should be fine. The Flow Serpent is the threat. These Wisps are actually ranged units. Sorry, I lied. They're not melee units. So we gotta be a little bit cautious. And one of the ways I think we can be cautious is basically ensuring that we're all nicely clumped up together so that we can do some good old-fashioned buffs. Now, if I send my Sunderers up there, and then I'm going to put my War Shamans down here. So the reason I'm doing it like this is so that this thing can't teleport in and hit 3 of my units. So if I had a Concave, it could teleport right behind that and tag 3 of my units. So right now it's only going to be able to hit 2, which is good. We have our Clerics here. I want to definitely do some healing. Could drop a Mending Touch on my Sunderers. I don't want them to die. Okay, whoops. That's a little bit of an issue now. Not sure why he decided to move over there. Perhaps it's only a 1 range? Yeah, I think it's a, that's the problem. It's only got 1 range. Okay, so I should have used the other heal. Oh well, lesson learned. This would heal completely to the full. And the cooldown on this is 2 turns. Well, we may as well drop it immediately. And then we can end our turn and go into defensive mode here as the enemy approaches. Okay, so we can actually engage the Flow Serpent directly, which might be beneficial. So we're not quite in range, but say if I were to advance 2 steps I could come up here and we could huck some javelins at it. Holy crap, it's gonna do a lot of damage. We might even be able to just kill this thing in one turn. That'd be nice. We could charge in here, but for some reason we can't attack it. What's going on here? So if you go there, then you deliver a shield bath. It's refuged. Okay, so it refuges when it takes damage. Interesting. Very interesting. That's problematic. We're going to shield bash these gargoyles here just to stop them from doing any damage. That'll put us into shield mode as well. And our... Ah, crap. You know what? No, don't bless anything right now. Actually, perhaps we could bless the prophet. Let's just... Rest the prophet? What's wrong with me today? Why am I like this? Okay, so no sense in attacking the refuge serpent, so we're gonna drop some arcane lightning here, because that's gonna hit quite a lot of guys. I think because it's refuge, it shouldn't be able to move. At least that's what I'm hoping. So let's just put our arcane guard right here. They can go defensive, because... not gonna be able to do much anyways. So if we drop here, they're gonna be able to hit a lot of us. So I don't want to go there. I think in that case, I actually want to stay like right here. Or we drop an empower. I'm gonna drop an empower right here. Right there, even better. So it's gonna drop a little bit more healing and some strengthened and regeneration, which will be pretty good. And let's drop a... an Astral Respite as well, so that's gonna spread across some of our units here. Should allow them to heal after a couple of turns. Okay. Wisps doing their thing. The Wisps don't do a whole lot of damage, so... they're probably my least concern. Okay, perfect. So it's moved. Or... we just stabbed it, huh? Alright. It's still refuged. Interesting. So, let's see here. Wow, you can just straight up kill it? Well, better to hit it right here, because then that's going to hit 3 enemies. So let's do that. That is some solid damage right there. In the meantime, we can have our chaplains here deliver a magic blast, which will then allow our sunderers to finish them off. So that's one wisp gone. Just getting it out of the way. I didn't like it being there, so... wanted to deal with it. Let's drop you in here. Anything that we can kill here? Unfortunately, no. Our warriors can absolutely kill these gargoyles, so we're gonna do that. Good, they're dead. And then our shaman here, well, we can get a little bit of damage in on those iron golem assistants. And our arcane guard, unfortunately, can't do anything. Apparently, we have corpse eating. That's, I guess, because this was a bandit unit, so... they've been up to all kinds of no good. Of course. Anything we can just straight up eliminate with the Wrath of the Faithful? No. So then we're going to hold off and wait and see what the enemy does. Hopefully they die from being counterattacked. The Astral Serpent, I should say. Don't like the damage these jerks are doing to my guards here. I'm going to want to heal them. Okay. So they're going to come in and fight against my warriors. That's perfectly fine. That's not going terribly well for them. Good. The Flow Serpent is just doing a regular old attack against my troops, which means we're going to be able to heal through this. So let's drop a fat heal right here on my guard, who should be able to kill the Flow Serpent. Never mind. Wrong guys. That's also fine, actually, because then they can go and kill them. Or not, apparently. You're going to go and finish off the Iron Golems. My Sunderers are going to advance to here. And then they're going to huck some spears there, which will take that unit out. So those wisps are now gone from this earth. And we're going to drop a magic missile on these wisps, because that is a good single target damaging spell. And that seems to be our turn. Morale is very low, indeed. And they're not doing much. So... the Prophet will get the finishing blow, and we'll dispel these wisps and send them back to the Astral Sea. They don't belong here. Very well. The aftermath was plainer problems. With the summoned monsters banished again, the White Witch drops her magical barrier.
Thank you.
She comes forward, enthusiastically waving her wand.
My field research has never yielded more valuable results. I have another interesting hypothesis that needs confirmation. I don't suppose you would mind if I...
In which direction do you steer the Witch of the Exodites before her magical experiments can cause more damage? Well, let's see here. We could have her share her findings with my court, which would give us 136 knowledge, instantly finishing the astrologer's research. Or we could recruit a White Witch into our army. Could be good. It's a tier 2 unit. Getting us some frost bolts and freezing blast. We can let her continue, which would give us a lot of mana. We don't need the mana. I would like to have the knowledge. Getting a troop out. No, we'll have. She can share her findings at our court. Which means we have completed astrologer, so now we can recruit these. And we can get Augury of Aid. For one turn, a prediction aid is made at the start of each battle. This is a sustained whirl spell. So this is how they do it. So basically, at the start of all the battles I've done against the Mystic-focused factions, or any faction that got this tome, I guess, they would just get these, like, buffs right away. And I was wondering, like, how do they do that? Well, here's my answer. But we can also get Divining Governance. Predictions make target city governance easier, granting plus 15 city stability. Extra city stability based on 10% knowledge produced in the city. That's pretty cool. I like it. I like both of these, actually. But I'm going to take Divining Governance first, because it's just thematic for us. Alright, so, Xiaraisk needs to have some stuff be produced. So we are going to start by producing a storehouse here. And in the meantime, I know we just sent her out that way, but I kind of want to deal with this enemy right here, and I think she can probably do it. So, the Prophet has leveled up. What are we going to get? Well, this precision training would make a whole lot of sense. He is a Prophet after all, he is guiding. So, we're going to grab this resource here, that's 66 gold, that's pretty clutch, we need every gold we can possibly get right now, so... yeah, sounds good to me. And as for what we're going to do here, I think we're going to swing over this way. Checking what these enemies are. These are just brigands. Basically, probably remnants of the pirates that we dealt with there. For now, we're hidden from them, so we don't need to worry too much about them. I don't see anything that looks like it might be a spy from Hirconix, though there is this trouble up here that we may need to deal with. This is not the trouble. This is something we're going to need to claim. See, I don't know if we're going to be able to claim that anytime soon. Unfortunately. Well, sending our shaman down. Perhaps we can wait until our shaman reaches here. And when our shaman reaches here, we can group up the two heroes together into one army. Could be a good idea. Our Wizard's Tower Foundation is almost done here. I should start up a second construction. Perhaps we could get an abbey. An abbey instead of a forester. Or an astral observatory. That would grant extra stability, but we're going to be able to cast a spell that's going to solve our stability problems. This will work per adjacent farm. Okay. That could be good. Could be quite good. The problem is there's not going to be any adjacent farms here. So I think it'd be better if we wait until we capture this territory, and then I'm going to build an abbey there, because then we can build a farm here. We can almost certainly build a farm down here. And then these are, of course, not going to be, but that'll be 3 adjacent farms. So I'm going to wait on that, and I'm going to wait until we have a little bit more money, then we can more adequately control what we have there. All right. What is Zasara says doing, and Irzastari is doing fine. Otherwise, our scouts... going to move up here. 65 food sent to not sure where. Hopefully that's going to probably to Zasara says. That allow us to expand further? It did not, unfortunately. Alright, well hey, you know, it's something. And what do we have here? More scouts. We're gonna avoid them. This is not friendly terrain for us. This is the desert. So we're gonna hide in the forest so that they can't see us. And let's end our turn and see what the enemy does. So how are you guys finding the new format where I, you know, just go in and actually try and come up with all kinds of little lore reasons for all the little things that are happening? You know, obviously I can't do it for everything because that would be just a massive amount of time into there. But just like the little things with, like, you know, these random groups of creeps. What are they? You know, what's their backstory and all that? Sure, they're just things on a map normally, but the beauty of these games, the Age of Wonder series, is that you can really just kind of make your own stories with things, and that's very cool. Okay, what have we here? We've got some Krakens guarding a sunken ship. I mean, they're just Kraken spawn. So that could be something that we may want to seize control of. Ah, Storm Spirit. Fantastic. You are going to go to, Zasara says, to assist in the garrison there. And our troops here, actually, hold on. We may want to build roads. They cost 3 per hex, though. Can I afford that? I think I can. Let's just head down this way. We'll construct a road. It's almost looped up to there. It didn't, unfortunately, but it's okay. It's alright. Then we can go back to here. Do I just engage? I don't know. The hunting spiders scare me, and she's only level 1. So perhaps it would be better if I actually constructed another unit for her, which would probably be a Sunderer. Another Sunderer. That seems to be her style. It's only 60 gold. First, we're going to check what we can construct here. So we can construct a market. I think that's going to be our best bet. Gold seems to be our main bottleneck right now. So we're going to construct a market there. That's 70 gold. That is perfectly enough for us to start recruiting another Sunderer. It's going to take 4 turns because our draft here is pretty terrible, but, you know, what can you do? Nazarax the Swamp King has unfortunately returned back to Nebheim. Interesting. Nebheim's all the way down there. Our prognostications through the fog shrouding this land have revealed the general location of Nebheim. The prophet sees many things, of course. All right, what do we got here? Is that an enemy? That is unfortunately an enemy. I'm looking for loot drops. But it doesn't seem like we're going to find any. So we're going to head that way eventually. And our scouts here, we did get some good stuff here. So let's actually head back into the water. And then we can sweep around this coast while these scouts go and gather this right here. 63 more food. That should, yes, indeed, Zasara says, can annex another province. Perfect. Unfortunately, there's no more gold for us. And whatever we annex here, we're going to have to remove an enemy to make use of. That is a bit of an issue. I would like to build, or to capture this no, what I need to do is expand up to here so that we can capture this. So, I'm just going to build another farm. More farms equals more food. And there's only 3 enemies there, 2 tier 2s, 1 tier 1. These are all tier 1s. Once we have our, where is he? Came from here? Then we might have a chance there. I can also just send the prophet to go and deal with them. After he's done with that. Could be. For now, you're going to hold out here, unfortunately. I don't dare to attack them. I don't want to lose one of my heroes early on. Because again, I do not resurrect my heroes. I just generally... I don't like resurrection mechanics in games where it's not adequately explained what's happening. Like, I don't like resurrection in D&D. Like, I don't play D&D anymore. I have my own tabletop RPG that I've built from the ground up. Far more directed towards realism and not heroic role-playing. It's very Dark Souls-esque. You feel outmatched by most things, but through ingenuity and creativity, you're able to overcome foes. But, yeah, so in D&D, I never liked the resurrection mechanic. Or I didn't like the spell resurrect. I basically just, whenever I ran a D&D campaign, I would say, no, that does not exist. If you want to resurrect a character, you're going to have to do something more special in order to get that. So we're going to kind of do that here as well. We're not going to resurrect characters unless there is a damn good reason to do so. So we're going to have her head over this way, I guess. Yeah, and then up here. So we're just constructing some roads. And then we're going to have these 2 forces meet, and then we're going to deal with that little infestation right there. You are on your way back. We're not going to construct any roads here because Our enemies may use them. And our scouts, I'm gonna go swim around here. What have we? Another infestation, more pirates, of course. Well, we don't need to worry too much about them. As for these Krakens, unfortunately they've added a lesser tide spirit to their bunch. We will attempt to fight this automatically, and it looks to have gone pretty well for us. So, we will gather these resources, 63 gold, 35 research, and 30 production. That's pretty good. And what is this? That is an oyster reef. Okay, so if we annex that, we'll gain resources. But we have nothing to annex it with right now. So I'm going to go and deal with this little force here. Oh, fight or flight. Your troops engage the Kraken spawn and its minions, but they cower in fear rather than put up a fight. Most of them try to hide, while others huddle on the ground. They seem to be begging for mercy through panicked hisses and cries. I've never seen an octopus, heard an octopus hiss or cry. It's not normally what they do. We're going to let them go. That's fine. And we have received some gold and a heavy crossbow. Awesome. Well, we can also take out these penguins, clear up the coastlines. Let's, again, automatically resolve this and see what happens. Perhaps I will fight it. No, we're looking pretty good still. All is well in the realm. We have found a demoralizing mask. Ooh. Melee attackers have a base 60% chance of gaining despair, and we have 79 more food, which unfortunately didn't give us a new population. Soon, though. 5 turns. Not too bad. Now, as for our demoralizing mask, that is, of course, going to go to the Ruthless Huntress. Xayiriazk. I don't know. This name. And here we cannot move any farther, so... And do we want to give her a crossbow instead of a lance? I mean, the lance is really cool. Maybe crossbow is tier 2 as well. The lance is awesome. I don't know. I have a thing for cavalry and lances. We could, actually, start sending these forces down here to assist. Meanwhile, our scouts here are going to go on an expedition out in these territories. So there's a watchtower there. I'm going to want to take that watchtower. And our scouts up here, further into the unknown. Let's just move up to this road here and see if there's anything nearby for us to plunder. There is. There are 2 things here for us to plunder. Wonderful. We have a couple of things we can cast. We can do Astral Balance. Well, let's do it. It's going to take us some turns, but it's going to be a good minor race transformation. We also have Primal Mark. Ooh, that's also pretty good. So this would grant my army Primal Strike. So their first strike in every battle is going to deal +8 blight damage. That's quite good. It will increase their mana upkeep, but that should be okay because it's pretty minor. And I would like that. We're not so big on the chaos, but then again, you know, chaos is the flow of evolution. Chaos is one of the factors in time. And one can choose to view the currents of time as destiny, or fate, as some might call it, or one can choose to view it as causality. Zaz, the Lord of Scales, leaves that open to interpretation. Zaz is all about his followers interpreting the course of events as they will. Well, I think we're going to want to head back to shore. We have some pirates here. No, these aren't pirates. These are... I'm not sure what they are. We don't know who they are. There's catfolk. These must be working for Hirconics, but we have warlocks here. Perhaps these are actually refugees, because we have warlocks from the Tyrant King's realm, and then these horsemen. Oh, these are also catfolk, indeed. So these must be refugees from Hirconics' realm. We'll leave them be. We have no quarrel with them. So we will come back onto land. Lightbringers, interesting. The Lightbringers are envoys of a mysterious Godir. Not much is known about the Godir in question, but it is... Sorry, not Godir, but a mysterious astral god. The Ashbringer. We have witnessed the Ashbringer's influence very briefly in my previous campaign, but alas for the Ashbringer, its vessel was killed and eaten in our previous campaign. It's a great tragedy. I really wish, could have gone differently, but alas. Let's see, this market's about to be completed. This market's also about to be completed. We have a bunch of stuff that's about to be completed here. So what I'm gonna do, actually, is... I think I'm going to start queuing up. Sorry, queeing up. Another granary? I mean, just getting all this food is going to allow us to get a whole lot of stuff here. But then again, draft. We're gonna need draft at some point. Knowledge. May as well get the Ancestral Seer Hall here. It's not a bad idea. And then I may as well Kiwi up something here too, because this is also going to be done in one turn. Let's also get the Ancestral Seer Hall. Extra research, extra draft, so we'll be able to recruit warriors just a tad faster. Now, our troops are going to move through here. So we're all going to amass down here. We're going to quickly build up a road. Nice. Our armies have emerged. Do we wait? I think we wait a little bit. And our scouts... There's a Fortress of Tears up there, but we're going to grab this watchtower. Wonderful. So that's now has this area revealed. We're going to move up to here and fill out this fog of war. As for here, we've got plenty of resources to find. Hello, a vampire spider hatchling. Send him back. You know, it may just be a mindless beast, but it will serve us. Rumor has it that spiders are tied to a mysterious astral god as well, though the purpose and origin of this astral god is dubious at best. It does not exist within the scales of destiny, as prophesied by Zas, meaning it exists outside of time and outside of causality. Certainly something to be concerned about for the future. Very well. Looks like we're all looking good here. We have another galleon shipwreck over there that we may want to have a look at. Prophet has come back onto land, and we'll see what he's going to do. I think he's going to swing back and head back to Zasara says, and grab some of this, some of these resources along the way. As for our scout here, let's move our scout onto land, away from the pirates, and see if there's anything here. Oh no, a haunted graveyard and pirate lairs? This place, something is very wrong here. Some sort of corruption is seeping into the land, driving men to greed and avarice, basically the same things. Greed and, wrath, and then causing the dead to stir from their graves. Something is very wrong here. Perhaps we should send some sort of cleansing party to see what exactly is wrong. We're going to leave our war shamans there, although I may send them to go out and just grab some stuff out there, because we can do that. Yeah, an evil presence lingers in this land. Indeed, there is an evil presence here. We'll read that when we actually approach it. So, with one of our troops that's going to attempt to fully remove the evil presence from the lands. I'm hoping our scouts don't get attacked by the infestation units. It can happen, I'm pretty sure. But maybe those were not infestation units that did that? I don't know. I vaguely recall my scouts getting attacked by infestation units in a previous campaign, so we absolutely need to be ready. Okay, perfect. Irzas, ooh, hello, Harvest Festival. The harvest in the domain of your city Irzas-Ri has been bountiful this year. The city is well known for its impressive agriculture, and now it has outdone even itself. Food stalls turned the grand square into a maze filled with aromas and flowers, as children parade the streets and baskets full of the latest yield. There is no doubt that all of the other rulers are in awe of this display of prosperity. Well, perhaps not. We could donate the excesses of this harvest with the poorest families, or we could sell. Or we can throw lavish parties for the lesser lords. No, that's not really our thing, as much as I want the Imperium. Or we could commemorate the laborers to get extra stability. We must fund our civilization, regrettably. You know, we are a good faction, but at the same time, we're reptilian, we're cold-blooded. We try and strive for balance, you know? But at the same time, we are of the wild. Meaning, we're very much of the survival of the fittest, which means the poorest, they have to fend for themselves. Everyone must fend for themselves, ultimately. We will do what we can to assist them, but not at great cost to our ultimate goals. And right now, our ultimate goals is to build infrastructure, is to grow the megaliths into cities. And for that, we unfortunately need gold. Alas, most of our people are still subservient to this concept of some sort of shiny metal being worth more than other sorts of far more useful metal. It's a ridiculous thing, but nevertheless, most of our people, probably because of their time being enslaved under the Draconian Order, where the Draconian Order was very much based around wealth and power, that has not yet left them. So we are going to have to sell this so that we can expand further, because there are many things that we need to expand. But first, Irzasuri can expand. We will take these mines here. We could do it like so. That'd be gold and... that sounds pretty good. It's only 5 gold, but it's also going to be 10 production. I'm going to take it. And we're going to quickly run over here, get into the water. We're going to grab that before hopefully those pirates come. And speaking of those pirates, we need to deal with them. There's a lot of them. So we're going to send the prophet back home. And our Tide Watcher is going to go and merge with the garrison there. Meanwhile, our troops here are ready to go. So, at long last... no, they're not yet. They're almost ready to go. Okay, we're just gonna merge together here. Our spiders are going to return to Zasada says, and our scouts are going to continue searching the lands, looking for any sort of clue. Perhaps there's something up here. There is. It'll be risky for them to get it, but they're gonna try. And of course, Xiaraisk has expanded to the point where it can annex another province as well. Unfortunately, this gold mine is occupied, but so is this. This is the Astral Dew. Astral Dew will be greatly beneficial to us. So we will take this Astral Dew. We can build a conduit here, or a research post. I think I'm going to build a conduit. It is occupied, but it'll be unoccupied once our armies arrive. We need to clear out the surrounding territory. Everything here must be driven out so that we can safely expand without any further issue. Now, as for what we might find here, let us move up this way. Unfortunately, nothing. The deserts are quite barren, as one would expect them to be. As for what's happening here, where were we heading, strictly speaking? There doesn't seem to be anything here. Well then, I'm going to head this way. Also, more enemies, but aside from that, we haven't encountered anything of note as of yet. So let's end our turn and see where this gets us.
Well, would you look at this? Another ruler in this realm. How many more can this realm take? Let us just agree to stay out of each other's way.
Torbeld Chainbreaker has reached out to us. We have encountered some of his scouts, and they bring word of a cantankerous dwarven warlord who has set his people free from Nebuchadnezzar. An inspiring tale, no doubt, but the dwarves are known to be insular and xenophobic. A cantankerous people that are not very open to outside negotiations. In either case, we're going to send him a welcoming gift.
I accept this gesture of goodwill, thrilled one. Thank you.
We'll keep an eye on him. I want to make sure that we stay in good terms. I do not wish to go to war with this dwarf. That would be a great shame to go to war against other former slaves of Dragonkind. I have progressed an extra turn, by the way, just so you guys are all aware. And I've done this because nothing happened during that turn, so aside from gathering some resources. So our forces here are now all together. We have just added the Sunderer that was recruited here, so that's 3 Sunderers. We're going to move and start purging the enemies surrounding our territories. We have found more loot here. A Dread Spider hatchling. Very well. Send it to Xiadraisk. In the meantime, you will head up and search for more terrain. Meanwhile, our scouts here are going to cross the sea and head onto land here. Nothing to be found as of yet. And our shamans have done their looting. They're going to hold out there for when we eventually, inevitably, need some further assistance. As for our scouts up here, anything to be found? Perhaps not. We'll skirt around this other pirate infestation as we search for treasure of our own. But ooh, there's something there. There's something there. We're going to head up that way. And our spell, Astral Balance, is ready. Let us transform our people. What does it make us look like? We have glowing eyes now. Alright. Well. We are happier. So we have +5 morale. And at the start of each turn, units without a line have a 30% chance of gaining 1 aligned stack. So that's going to be very good for all of our predictions. Most excellent. In the meantime, we are going to start researching Primal, or we're going to start casting Primal Mark as well, because I also want that. And we have found another lesser tidal spirit. What are we going to do with you? Where are you, anyways? You're all the way down here? Wow, you have a long way to go. Get to Zasada says. And we shall end turn. We have completed Divining Governance, which will allow us to pick ourselves a new tome. So, Conjure Amplification Pylon. This is the Tome of Amplification. Conjures an Amplification Pylon, a stationary structure that deals damage and increases the damage of your spells by 20%. Lasts for 3 turns. Frenzying Focus. Grants enchanted units Frenzy. This is a unit enchantment, which increases the damage dealt when they attack. We get Chain Lightning. It's just a damaging spell. It can hit up to 3 units. Astral Blood, which is another minor race transformation. Makes magic begin to flow through the veins of the target race, granting them Attunement Fortune, which increases critical hit when spells are cast. That sounds really cool and really good in conjunction with what we already have. Amplify Minds grants Friendly City 20 knowledge and 10 or minus 10 stability. All right, this looks pretty good. And then of course, Amplified Arrows. We'll have our arrows deal a little bit more damage. It's another unit enchantment, but let's look and see. We don't want Doom Herald, or Necromancy, or Dark Desires, or Unseelie, or Murder. The Beacon. This would allow us to summon Lightbringers, but it's not really our thing. Tome of the Inquisition, also not. Tome of Blight. Give us Blight Doctors. Disease. Poison Water Supply. Vile Bloom, a little bit too evil. Tome of Fertility. This would animate plants, get us nymphs, all that type of stuff. Not really our thing either. Tome of the Siren. Storm Sirens. Song of the Siren. Undersea Garden. So this would boost our seafaring capabilities, but we don't really like the sea. Not Tome of the Sealy. Tome of the Glades. That could get us the Glade Runner. Ranged unit that marks and weakens enemies. We could create forests. Get Leaf Skin. Summoned Entwined Protector and Aspect of the Root. Nah. Tome of the Swamps. Well, it's gonna be Tome of the Swamps. That's the one we need. So what's it gonna be? We could get Swampkin. Become one with what lies beneath the swamp, granting the race 2 blight resistance, swamp camouflage, and swamp walk. So swamp camouflage is this unit cannot be detected when standing on wetland hexes, and swamp walk, moving through wetlands, costs fewer points. We absolutely want that, and we also absolutely want Bring the Floodplains, which is a terraforming spell that'll turn things into swamps. Both of these are really good, so I'm actually going to lock this for 40 so that we get that next. Ooh, should have locked the other one. Actually, this would have been the better one to take. All right, well, we're going to get Swampkin. You know, we inhabit the marshes. That's our thing. All right, Zasadar says, can annex another province. Fantastic. What are we going to annex? We want to go there, but we can't reach it. It's not going to happen. And this is infested, which sucks. We need the mana. Yeah, it's occupied, so we're not really getting anything out of that right now. I mean, we want to pick it up eventually anyways. I could just build another farm. Or these pastures, that would be even better. That's gonna get us more, because these make farming far more efficient. So, tons of farms, it's going to allow our food sources to increase pretty drastically. The prophet's almost here. He is going to come by and deal with all these interlopers. He's also going to deal with those, because, you know, they're in the way. And they're guarding resources that we need. So let's confirm these spiders' movements. And new empire development skill available? Is that so? What might be available? Well, we could instantly gain 1,000 mana. Could be useful if we need to. Astral inspiration. Whenever a new research skill is researched, the knowledge cost of another random skill is reduced by 25%. And that sounds pretty good. For 175 Imperium, I'm gonna take it. And we could gain 20 combat casting and world map casting points. Do it. And that's all of our Imperium. So. Okay then. Let's confirm your movement. And our scouts. Our scouts are searching for loot. There's something to be found up there, I think. Being guarded by anything? It is not. Perfect. We're going to take that just as soon as we can. And it is time to start eradicating these forces here. So we can definitely do an automatic combat here as the Ruthless and the Serpent contend with these enemies. Or we're two warriors, strictly speaking. And we're going to also deal with these enemies here. Occupational hazards. As your troops approach the band of mercenaries, they raise the white flag. We were hired by a rich merchant to look after a large creature cage, the leader of the gang, a cataphract, explains. We expected to protect it from roaming scoundrels, not against a full-fledged assault. Please accept our surrender and let us go. They're gonna serve me. And this is gonna release this creature cage. So all of a sudden, we now have a cataphract unit. Crocodiles riding wargs. So this is one of the other species of scale kind, yeah, what did I call them? Scaled ones? Most of them serve Dragonkind, but we cannot possibly be the only exiles. These anyways are mercenaries, so these have sought rule out, or these have sought their own path outside of the influence of Dragonkind, which is respectable. So we're going to move them out of this force, and I'm going to actually put the cataphracts in here, and we're going to grab this creature egg, which is going to give us a Gore-Tusk Matriarch. Holy crap. We're going to take that as well. Thing is, what do we remove? I think I'm going to actually take the Serpent out of this army. The Serpent's going to manage this city for now. And meanwhile, Yazg is going to be leading this force herself. We're going to head over this way. There's a watchtower there that we need to reclaim control of, and we can level her up. So, she is a fighter. Bloodlust would make sense. She is a ruthless fighter. We're gonna give her Bloodlust. And the Prophet. Has he leveled up? Not yet. So Yazg can annex another province immediately already. Okay. Well, we may as well take this gold mine. I'm gonna take this gold mine because we're gonna cleanse it very soon. So I'm just gonna already take it. As for what we can do here, there's potential loot over there, but it's being guarded. Most unfortunate. And our scouts up here, I believe there was loot for us to find here. No, there was not. So we're going to move through the forest and find absolutely nothing. So, ending our turn. Well, let's move our scouts to search out for more objects of interest. We've produced our Seers Hall in Irzasri, which is going to allow us to start constructing the next thing down the line. We can construct Halls of War. Should increase our annexing range by 1, but I don't think we've reached our annexing range yet. Would grant 10 gold income, but it is a lot of gold. We do need some stability, so I am actually going to construct a tavern. Although, we're going to have our spell here. Which, first off, Primal Mark is ready, so let's use it. We're going to already drop some Primal Mark on all of our units. Perfect. And then, what we can do is use Divining Governance. So this is a sustained city spell. It does have a spell upkeep of 6 mana. So we're going to only use this on the cities that need it. So right now, we don't actually need to worry about the instability because we're going to use that spell on our city, which is instead going to allow us to get, for example, a mana obelisk. Because we do need to actually do something about our mana income at this point. Alright. Spider's almost in position. You confirm your movement. New Empire development skill available. I don't think I have the... Actually, I do. Farms grant +5 food. City structures cost 20% less gold to build. Oh my god, these are both amazing. I'm going to take the food one first. And then we're going to save up Imperium for the other one immediately, because they're both really good. And they work with us. They match us pretty well. What was here again? 3 enemy troops? We will crush them. No need to fight this out manually. Okay, let's fight this out manually then. Our predictive prognostications by the Prophet foresaw that some of our troops would die. He has given us a directive to alter the strands of causality, to shift the scales of destiny, so that our troops do not die. Perhaps. We must maximize our chances of victory with as little loss as possible. So, we will advance, and we'll keep our damaged troops in the foliage. And of course, she's going to move with our flanking force here. So, what do we have here? What are you? You are Night Guard, Shadow Legionnaires, and Light Cavalry. Okay. So, we want to basically deal with the Night Guard, because they're anti-cavalry. So we could come out, give us a better chance of hitting them. Only 50% chance still, so perhaps if I move to here, what's our chance then? 35. Then if I move here, that should be better. 90, perfect. So we're gonna throw some javelins in here now for some sundered defense, and I will send my spear bearers in to attack. Or do I send these up here? That would send them through the poison, which I'd rather not have them do. So then they can go this way, and then we can throw some spears in on them so that they've got even more sundered defense. The Gortusk Matriarch is going to run around back, and we could immediately have Xiazk the Ruthless engage the Light Cavalry, just to prevent them, or we could have our Cataphracts engage the Light Cavalry. We could also have our Cataphracts engage here. I'm gonna have the Ruthless Raider immediately engage the enemy Light Cavalry, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to send in my Spear Bearers to engage their spear units, which is gonna deal pretty good damage with Primal Strike, and then what I can do is send in my Cataphracts on a charge here. So that's going to at least weaken them a little bit. I can also drop a Wrath of the Faithful on them. It's not gonna do much, though. So what I'm gonna do then is do an Omen of Respite on my Cataphracts and my Spear Bearers, so that they should restore some health as they go. As I said, I don't want anything to die, so... But we'll see what happens. We'll see where their retaliation lands. Okay, they are unfortunately doing a fair bit of damage. Okay, they moved. They're also engaging here. Alright, that's probably the death of my Spear Bearers. Oh, really? You're just... Okay. Well... So much for that. Alas, the prognostications were for naught. We'll throw more spears. And then the Ruthless Raider can do a rear charge and fully wipe this unit out. Meanwhile, the Gortusk Matriarch can come in here and deliver a brutal charge that has canceled their retaliation now. We can also deliver a brutal charge right here, which is going to almost completely wipe out that unit. So we won't lose anything else, but alas, the Spear Bearers have fallen. Nice. We resisted their poison. Alright. And now... Well, unfortunately, the game crashed again. That's been happening more often than it did before. So, basically, what I did was went in with my Sunderers, and, you know, that proved to be fairly effective. So I'm going to send in my other Sunderers to attack the Shadow Legionnaires right over there. Unfortunately, that did trigger a counterattack. We'll have our Cataphracts attack there, and the Gortusk Matriarch attack as well, and then Sairiazk will deliver the final blow. And that'll be... all of the enemies are dead, unfortunately at the cost of one of our spear bearers, but, alas. So it goes. Now, as for our troops here, we don't want to engage anything down there yet. We're going to want to get rid of these astral abominations, and I'm going to actually use both of my armies at once to do that, because they are slightly more dangerous than you might think. Good, remove these gargoyles. And then we can take this resource. What was that, actually? What did we just get? Well, we've gained 2 levels with him, so let's quickly have a look what we might get him. Let's get Spur to Action. He is, of course, the prophet. His word will inspire great feats of valor. Defensive Training. And we have our second hero skill. I believe we should get Rallying Blessing. Bolster the defenses of our troops. He is more of a leader than a caster, after all. We have our caster hero already. Our new shaman. Excellent. Our scouts have found 65 gold. That's pretty good. We have quite a lot of gold. I wonder if our scouts can actually deal with that little Kraken spawn there. If we could deal with that Kraken spawn, we could get that loot, but I feel like that'd be a hard fight for a lone scout to deal with. Right. And our scouts here really haven't found much of anything. It's quite a desolate area. And, of course, more pirates. They're not terribly near to us, so not of our concern right now. This needs to be expanded into. We need to take that. We only have 6 more turns to do so, so I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Actually, it might. Construct the communal town hall right here. Switch this over. That'll take 5 turns to complete. We could even rush it so that we can immediately do the expansion, but then that's going to take 6 turns. We should have enough. We'll wait. It might happen. We might be able to pull this off and obtain these focus crystals before it's too late. But we shall see. So, scouts of Hirconix. Uh-oh. That's Hirconix himself. He's nearby. We don't see exactly where he is, but his city, Omnispire. And then there's Pendant as well. Several cities. Your advisors mentioned that Irzasri announced costly plans to import food. You contact the city. An administrator of Irzasri welcomes you in a good mood.
I know what you mean to discuss, my prophet, and you can be proud. Following your benevolent decrees, Irzasri declared the importation of ample meats and produce for our hungry citizens. The best part, the city is paying for it all.
The people of Irzasri intend to mirror the generosity you display. However, Irzasri will be spending your gold. Approve the plans. Gold doesn't buy happiness. We would lose 42 gold per turn. That's a lot. We'd gain 20 stability, and we'd receive 198 food. Well, we could spend even more funds. That'd be 68 gold per turn. That's also a lot. Get even more food. But it's not much, just expediting the process by 2 turns. In exchange for losing quite a lot of gold. Forbid it. Tax Irzasri more instead? No, we don't want to do that. Fine, we'll take the original, the basic plan. Okay. And our spiders are going to do their thing. Here we go. Yet another spider faction. I can't believe it's come to this. It always comes to this. Why is it always spiders? I don't know. Right, I just have a thing with spiders. Alright. What can we do? We're gonna just take this watchtower here, and then we're gonna head back. Though, as we head back, I think it would be beneficial to actually construct a road back. And we did lose a unit. So, I'm going to put the shaman here back in her army. And then we're gonna go deal with this infestation. in the next turn. As for our scouts, keep patrolling the coastline. Look for anything of note. There doesn't appear to be anything over there. I'm not going to engage those krakens. I don't want to lose my scouts if I don't have to. Nothing here either, except for dangerous adversaries. Actually, we can grab that. That's something. In here, anything to be found? Ah, should have grabbed the watchtower. What was I thinking? Divine governance. Okay. So, we will use divine governance, or divining governance here on Irzasri. Wonderful. So now it is stable. Checking our other cities. Cisara says is neutral. Good. And Xiaraisk is stable. Wonderful. We'll leave it as is. And we shall end our turn. Our scouts have revealed the location of the Deephelm Separatist city of Redfjorn. Speaking of the Deephelm Separatists, I would actually like to engage in a little bit of diplomacy with them. Perhaps we can manage ourselves a wizard's bond. I'm willing to spend some mana on this. He is currently the strongest. That is interesting, actually. We can engage the enemies here, but this is a Astral Siphoner. That's a tier 3 unit. They hit very hard. So I'm actually going to come in with a bit of reinforcement. So all of our troops will engage directly. We're probably going to suffer some losses, because Astral Siphoners can... I don't know, I think they could probably pick us off. Also, we were fighting in the mana pool. We're basically fighting for this mana pool node, right? Look at this. There's actually mana pools on the map. All of the special resource nodes are like that. In fact, all of the resources are accurately portrayed on their battle maps, which is a very cool factor of this game. Also, it has an effect. Displaced reality. Every 2 turns, all attacking units are displaced by 2 hexes. So we're just going to get shuffled, which is going to be kind of rough. So, one thing that I want to do is make sure that we can land a flank overload. So this is a strategy I was using a lot in my other campaign when dealing with a dangerous enemy force, is go for an oblique flank. Or oblique battle order, which is basically hit one flank. Though the enemy is very grouped together, so I don't know how effective this is going to be. Right now I'm just delaying so that 2 turns will pass, so that we'll be able to do our, or that the displacement will happen at a point where it isn't necessarily going to hamper us too badly. Well, we can already get our cataphracts in to deal with one of these wisps. That'd be good. Our Sunderers can assist. Let's actually do that. Get them into melee. It's not usually their thing, but it'll be fine. And Ukiyasha Iku will move up to here and go into defensive mode. He could have actually attacked, but oh well, it's too late now. And we can throw some javelins in there and hopefully completely pick them off. Awesome, they're dead. In the meantime, Sa'idiyask the Ruthless is going to hide here in these trees, and Gortusk Matriarch is going to come down here and, you know, dig around for roots, I guess. You know, do what boars do. And our spiders here, they're kind of sacrificial. We're gonna hold position here. If we can have the enemy feed us another unit, that would be excellent. Now, unfortunately, I think my cataphracts... So, like, everything here has an ability that, like, when you hit them, you get stunned, which really sucks. Okay, so the damage coming in isn't super high, but it will be definitely higher next turn. Alright, that's there. That's concerning. I want to be able to take that out in 1 turn if I can. The problem is my relocation, thanks to the astral shenanigans, has really done a number on me, because we're not going to be able to do that. At least not very easily. These 2 units are stunned. This is actually kind of bad. So I need to withdraw my shaman. My boar can't charge. She can't charge. I'm gonna send my spiders up. Maybe they'll draw them out. I'm gonna put my Sunderers right here. Actually pull my boar back into the cover here. What's their range? Okay, they can't attack my Sunderers here. They'll probably just straight up kill them, I would assume. So I'd rather not have that happen, so we're gonna move our Sunderers into cover here, and unfortunately my guys are turned the wrong way, backs facing to an enemy, and they're stunned. So there's really nothing I can do about that, aside from drop an Omen of Respite on them, and hope that that is going to mitigate what's about to happen. But I may just straight up lose one of these units, because I think these wisps, yeah, look at the damage they're doing. Like, that was 2 hits on a flank. It's absolutely gnarly. Yeah, that's my cavalry. Okay, so, at the very least, the Astral Siphoners are kind of caught out in the open. So my Gortusk Matriarch even, can charge in. What I can also do is have my Sunderers come in and throw some point-blank javelins to get some Sunder defense on it, because I want this thing dead. I remember from my previous campaign what these did, and they're not pleasant. So, could throw some damage in there, but I don't think that's going to amount to anything. Perhaps it's better I shoot at the wisps. Perhaps not. You know what? You're going to come up here, get into cover, and then shoot at the wisps. Hopefully we can kill one. You can deal quite a bit of damage to this one, actually, so do that. So that's one wisp unit that's down to half strength. My Matriarch here is going to... Okay, if I go there, how much farther can I then move? What about here? Okay, then I can charge. Basically just rearing back to maximize the amount of charge damage that we can do. Unfortunately, my spiders aren't going to be able to engage. Ah, I got more Sunderers here. Perfect. Throw some javelins. Good. The damage is stacking. And you can potentially deliver a charge. We're not going to be able to kill it. God damn it. Alright, well... Very close. Very close to being dead. I'm going to send my spiders here into cover. And hopefully that's going to distract the wisps or something. I don't know. Can we kill it with Wrath of the Faithful? Not quite. It does so little damage. Alright, well, unfortunately we're going to have to face that thing's retaliation. We'll see what kind of damage it can do. I'm probably going to lose my cataphracts. That's fine. Alright, at least it died on the retaliation. That's good. And then it did something when it died. I don't know what exactly. Okay, so the Flow Serpent's up there. There is a nicely out-of-positioned wisp. There's 2 nicely out-of-positioned wisps, to be perfectly fair. We could exploit that. You can just straight up kill that one. That's good. Unfortunately, my boars were stunned in the process, because that's how that works. Advancing up to here... Only 50% chance of hitting both of these units? No, we can hit the Flow Serpent. But in doing so, I would be exposing myself. Or I could move into melee. I'm going to move into melee, get some damage in. While I get my Sunderers up here, and we're going to throw some spears onto that unit, sunder its resistances. Going to get my Sunderers up here. We can throw some spears at these wisps. Missed, unfortunately. That's not good. I'm going to send my spiders around on a deep flank. I've got more Sunderers that can actually throw. Not a good chance of hitting, but hey, they did it. And, yeah, Sa'idiaz is going to go on a deep flank, and Boar is going to be stunned, sadly. Our damage spell is basically useless. Useless, not youthless. Okay, so that actually kind of helped us. Alright. Gonna lose that unit, probably. I would imagine. They might live. They might live. Okay, I just need to make sure they don't get counterattacked. So, you're gonna go in and kill these wisps, right? That's basically all you can do, so... That's what you're gonna do. Fantastic. Boar is still stunned. Okay. Not sure how I feel about that. Going into melee here... you can do quite a lot of damage on this flank. Good. Now it's refuged, which means you can get out and get into melee. Get up to here. Melee attack these wisps. Basically did nothing, and it stunned my unit again. You guys are going to come up here, deliver an attack there, and you're going to come here and throw some javelins. Fortunately, they're going to live, which means they're probably going to end up killing my damaged unit, which is a shame. Not sure why my boar is still stunned. Did it only get stunned last turn? Or what, does that have something to do with being electrified? I don't know. Holy crap! That just straight up killed a full health unit in 1 turn. Or almost full health unit in 1 turn. And my other unit there died too, so... Casualties abound. Right, well, kill them. Thank you. You're stunned? Okay. Can you kill it? Yes, you can with stab. All right, our battle shaman's just going in, shanking things with a knife. Well, we won. Unfortunately, we've lost our cataphracts and 2 of our sunderers because these guys hit incredibly hard, but this territory is now under our control. We all died fighting over these astral dews. Sorry, not mana pools. Astral dew. Well, let's merge our armies then and head back home. Oh no, we need to clip this army as well. Whoops, should not have headed back home. It's fine. Is there a unit I can quickly draft up? Not quickly, that's for sure. But is there a unit I can draft up that I want to draft up? A chaplain would be really nice, getting some heals. I think that's going to take 7 turns though, so that's going to be a little while. I need to start cranking out some more units for sure. So we got a little bit of something going on here. So we're going to actually recruit a warrior in Zasada Says. See, Zasada Says was all about the Sunderers and horsemen, which we don't really have horsemen aside from Pathfinders, which I don't really need. So let's actually recruit a Sunderer here. And in Irzas 3, got 1 turn to complete this mana obelisk. That'll be good. Then we can construct a mint. And we can recruit tier 2 units, so we can actually recruit some more war shamans. Or furies, that's a ranged unit. Interesting. And raiders, cavalry unit. Let's actually recruit a unit of raiders. I'm intrigued. And we can spend 21 Imperium. After, of course, we buy this. That's going to be 125 here. So that's going to be Materium. All right, perfect. Then what I want to do is actually cancel this construction, and then we can do it again for cheaper. Or does it only apply next turn? Let's find out. Astral Dew acquired. Orders received. Yeah, you confirm your movements. And yeah, guys, this is going to be the end of today's episode. We've made a little bit of progress, clearing out some of our lands, finding some resources. Unfortunately, not a whole lot else happened. Oh, look, hello, Cinderhold, another dwarven city. Hopefully they don't take our scouts snooping around as a sign of aggression, because that's absolutely not what we're trying to do here. We absolutely want to be diplomatic towards them. We're going to clear out these trolls here. That's a tier 4 unit. This is actually going to be a rough fight, but let's just see what the... Nah, we're going to fight it. Screw it. One more fight before the end of the episode against something of a boss. One of these trolls. We got some serpents here. These serpents hit pretty hard too, and the trolls, that's a ranged unit, by the way. It's a pretty nasty ranged attack. I believe the ranged attack is an AoE as well, or it has an AoE ranged attack, Plague Spores. So we're going to want to not stand in a group against them. We're going to put some distance in between our units. Should be enough, because I don't think you can target spaces in between units. If you can, then I will be sad, but yeah, not much to be done about it at this point. Are you gonna drop a bless already? What are you gonna bless? Why don't you bless the prophet, if you would? And the prophet can drop a magic missile. Arcane bombardment's not gonna be in range, so magic missile it is. I mean, I guess we may as well tag this thing. Got some lightning resistance, but yeah, what can you do? Probably, maybe should have saved it on the troll. I don't think the troll has lightning resistance, but it's too late for that. And besides, next turn I'm going to be using other things, I'm sure. Ah, you can target in the middle. I was deceived by myself. Alright. Well. So, with the lightning orbs, it's going to do a bit of damage, but first I think I want to use Spur to Action. So, yeah, of course we can target in the middle, because we can do it right here. We're going to do an Empower right there. It's going to allow our Sunderers to throw some Sundering Spears into there, and our guy here can do a Shield Bash. Is that what we want to do? Yeah. No, not a Shield Bash. Sorry, just a regular old whack. We got to get some damage in. Shield Bash doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And what we could do here is drop a Restore, but first I think I want to do a Spur to Action on these guys. So if we can just have them get rid of this unit, which unfortunately isn't going to happen this turn, but we'll get close. Actually, now stun it so that it can't attack back next turn. That's good. All right, and then, oh Mending Touch is a free action? Of course, but it's just, Triumph Foretold. Oh yeah, that's cool stuff. How does this work? Oh, enemy. Oh, that's Visions of Woe. Actually, let's drop a Visions of Woe here. That's going to force them to fumble their attacks. It'll be potentially really good. You can deal some damage here. And I think I'm just going to get my my Spear Boys in to attack there. They're going to attack back. Unfortunately, that worked. That's going to only affect adjacent units. Wrath of the Faithful. That actually does 15 damage here. That'll do 18 there. I'm going to drop it there so that way we can just ensure that we kill that next turn with one of our units. Then we don't need to use both to deal with them. Okay, so these tidal spirits are coming in. They're going to do a bit of damage. Let's see what this troll does. That's what's really concerning. All right, you're attacking me. Good, that triggers the attack of opportunity. I may lose this spear bearer. Should be kind of unfortunate. But I do have my beefy heal. They just need to survive. Who are you attacking? Oh, Christ. Okay, it's not doing much damage because it is fumbling. Alright, awesome. So the Visions of Woe was clutch there, so that just saved that unit's life. So pull in here, do a Mending Touch. Get some heal off. Our clerics here are going to drop a super thick Healing Prayer on these guys as well. So now they're basically almost back up to full life. And then we're going to do a Restoration on them. Classic. Alright, you're just gonna kill those guys. Make that snake die. I've had enough of it. Alright. What are we gonna do here? You know what? Our Sunderers are just gonna go into melee and kill that thing, which is going to allow our shield bearers to pull up around this way to try and get a flank on that troll. And I'm gonna do an Omen of Respite on my units right here, because they're gonna be taking more damage real soon. As for our War Shamans can start attacking the troll. I'm assuming it's going to regenerate most of this damage, but I want to kill off all of its buddies first. Okay. What is that, actually? What's going on here? Oh, this is the same thing. Wave of Tranquility. Oh, every 2 turns, all status effects on all units are removed. Okay, that's a problem. Well, we can engage in melee. It's really going to do almost nothing, unfortunately. But, what can you do? What kind of damage would that do? It's got lightning weakness. That's going to actually deal more damage. Let's pull you up. And then let's bless you. Just juice them up a bit. And you are going to move up to here. Deal a little bit of damage here. It's really not doing much, but the Prophet himself is going to unleash Heavenly Lightning. And our Sunderers are going to advance. Throw some Javelins in. It's going to sunder their defense. And our Warriors here... I should have not moved my Sunderers right there. That was foolish of me. Oh well. Too late. I know this game has an undo movement function, but it only applies to movement. Ow! Yeah, we were clumped up. That's on me. But I think we're going to be okay, because it's not going to be able to use that anymore. As long as my chaplains don't die, that would be great. That's a unit I do not want to have die. Right. Thankfully, our heal still went off. So, I could have my Prophet just shiv them, or I could kill it with lightning. I'm just going to kill it with lightning. It's going to open up the rest of my troops here to do business. To do their business, I should say. Let's move our... move these guys up. I'm going to move my Sunderers up here. Throw some Javelins. That's a good hit. We can deliver an attack from behind. Good. No, let's try and finish this thing off. I want it dead. Get some damage. Unfortunately, it missed. War Shamans. Standing in foliage. I don't think this thing should be able to benefit from teeny little grass there covering up its ankles. I don't think that counts as cover. Just saying. Okay. Diseased has been removed, so that's at least something. Right, so we can just engage in melee, right? It's not going to attack back. Wow, this thing's incredibly tough. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to do much damage to it. Prophet's got to get up there as well. Just magic missile it. That felt a little bit. Alright. Yeah, it's gonna get out of here, unfortunately. Well, sure, we could have done this a little better, doing our, like, javelin throws earlier before attacking in melee and using, like, the Empower and Bless and all that, but I don't think we would have done enough damage to this thing for it to actually go down. Sadly. But, I mean, we may as well drop a heal. It's the thought that counts. I know it's not going to actually count afterwards. But alright, that's that. It's going to escape. That's okay. We defeated the army, and we don't actually benefit from, like, killing everything. We're just chasing it off, you know? Making sure it's learned its lessons so that it doesn't come and bother us again. We are the rulers of the swamp, not this troll thing. Unfortunately, indeed, our spear bearers did die in battle. But we have defeated the enemy, and we have seized this terrain piece here, the Tranquility Pool, which we could annex at some point. I was falsely denounced by Hirconix. Once again, being a bit of a problem. Right, and our scouts are going to continue searching for the last thing that we do in this episode. It's not really all that much to be found. Just skirt past their territory of Redfjorn. You know, again, non-aggressively. And that, my friends, is going to be all for today. I duly hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, once again, don't forget to drop it a like. That really helps the YouTube algorithm recognize this series and put it out to more people, which in turn helps my channel grow, which is ultimately what I'm attempting to do. I'm trying to grow my channel. Who would have thought? So, to those of you that have been doing so and leaving comments, thank you once again from the bottom of my putrid blackened heart. It means a lot to me. Alright, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one. Ash Heriter out.